Hello and welcome back to Around Town. I'm your host, Tiffany Howard, and I'm very excited for our guest today. Alicia Stobbe is here with her second book, Journey to Success. Good morning.
Morning. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Welcome. So let's talk for a minute. I want to go back and just talk a little bit about your first book and what that did, and then I would love to hear all about this one.
Sure. So the first one, I had no idea what was going to happen. I just wanted, it's a book about mortgages. It's called How to Get Approved for the Best Mortgage Without Sticking a Fork in Your Eye. And
appropriate title.
Yep, because we all know in the real estate business that mortgage paperwork is a nightmare. Like, who are we kidding? It is what it is. And actually, it's even worse now with COVID. So many overlays. But I wrote it, my goal was to educate the consumer, because I always believe that an educated consumer became our best client. And I also wanted to elevate the level of professionalism in the mortgage industry, because we were coming out of the wild, wild west and the crash of 2007-8 and all that shenanigans. So I took 2 years, nights and weekends, and finished that book. And was very fortunate that it was well received. So it became a #1 bestseller. It was actually #2 in 24 hours and #1 in about 6 days. So, and then the thing that really surprised me is it sustained its success because it was so unique. And it was a #1 bestseller for about a solid year, and then 2 and 3 for 1, 2, and 3 would go back and forth for about 3 years. So I was super fortunate.
And when did that book come out?
2015.
2015. And so here we are, 2020, this book came out?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yes.
2021 this year?
2021, so January, second week in January.
And tell us about Journey to Success.
Well, I wanted to write another book, and I had this big grin on my face because I wanted to write another business book, and this book is not a business book at all. So I had this idea that I would do quotes, well-known, little not so well-known quotes, and I would write a quote and then have sort of something, a business goal for every week, 52 weeks. Mm-hmm. And the beauty is that it would be a different topic, and you could start whenever you want, right? Because it doesn't say January, it doesn't say March. Right. Any 52 weeks you can start and go. And I thought about it for a couple of years, and I made some notes, and I would come back to it. And then I said, just after Thanksgiving, okay, it's time for this book. And I sat down and I started writing and researching the quotes. And when I would research the quotes, the things that came to me for people to do were not about business. It was all spiritual and self-help, emotional growth, psychological growth. And I just, a little bit I fought it, and then I was like, there's nothing I can do. This is just what's supposed to happen. And especially considering COVID, it really became clear to me that people needed something to focus on besides the gloom and doom. And the book just basically it's 52 weeks with a motivational quote at the beginning of each chapter. And then there's a topic to focus on. And there's all sorts of different topics. And it's really about each individual person figuring out what success means to them. Because you might have a definition of success. I might have a definition of success. But mine may not fit you.
Right.
And vice versa.
Right. What a appropriate thing. It's funny how you start in one way and then it ends up another way, just being led. So very exciting. So if someone wants to buy your book, where do they go?
AliciaStobbeBooks.com, plural. So they can get either of the books there. They just click on the one they want. We made it super simple. It's in paperback right now. And then also there's some freebies in there. There's actually content that people can download at keytosuccessinlife.com. Key is plural in that case. And there's an online video course that people can take if they want accountability. I mean, I try to make it as simple as possible. So it's only 1 week, right? You don't have to get up and do this every day for 20 minutes. If you want to, by all means, you can, right. And you can do more than one chapter a week. But I made it pretty flexible and yet also try to keep people on target for what they wanted to do.
That is so exciting. Thank you so much for doing this. Excited for the Jacksonville community to get a hold of this and beyond, all over the world, really, through Amazon. So thanks so much for being here today. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Tiffany Howard on Around Town. Remember to make today count.
Greetings and welcome to the Jacksonville Buzz. I'm your host, Adrienne Houghton. And joining me in the Buzz Lounge today is Anna Johnston from the Jacksonville Party Company. And she's co-owner, and she's going to tell us all about this wonderful company and how it's being rebooted, revamped, and everyone's getting excited for the oncoming events. Welcome, Anna.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm excited to be here.
So tell me what the Jacksonville Party Company does.
So we do any and all events. I mean, if you have a party, we can plan it. We do all kinds of rentals. We do theme parties. We do private coordination and planning. We do transportation. So pretty much anything and everything you need for an event, we can manage for you.
So it's everything from a wedding through to a retirement.
Yep, to a little baby shower.
And do you do big festivals or is it?
Yes, absolutely. We've got a big country festival coming up this summer, which we have a bunch of country music stars coming in. We'll be right on the beach. It's going to be beautiful. Can't wait for that.
Wonderful.
Really excited for that.
Wonderful.
So, yeah.
So what would you like the viewers to know about the Jacksonville Party Company?
Honestly, we're here and we are ready to go. We are revamping. We redid our website. We're redoing some of our themes and everything, and we're really pushing everything back into it and really going full force. Having just started on it, I'm very excited to get a bunch of new projects going. So,
of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think is going to be your biggest challenge?
I think just coming into such an established business already, because he's had it for 12 years now.
Yes.
So it's a pretty established company here in Jacksonville. I think it's pretty cool. So I think it's just coming in and learning everything that's happened and everything that's happening and everything that's going to happen. So
Yes.
I think just figuring that out will be a challenge, but one I'm definitely up to. So
Yes.
I'm excited.
I know that the Jacksonville Party Company played a large part in some of the haunted houses and the haunted breweries and things like that.
Very much so.
And I'm sure there's probably going to be another one coming up soon. Do you think that COVID has really changed the way that people do events?
Absolutely. I think it's definitely kind of taken it in a more private direction, scaled back and more detailed and more smaller people, but it's more personalized. It's more, you're not dealing and battling with so much crowds anymore because you can't have the crowds anymore. So we're going in a more private and obviously safe direction.
Yes.
So I think it's
A lot
changing
more cleaning.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. But I mean, that's never a bad thing, right?
I know. Yes, quite. So do you have a specific guideline for people who want to come to you? What should they be asking you when they're coming to you for an event?
Really, what are your priorities for an event? What is important for you to be in that event? And what are you needing for that event to become exactly what you need and want it to be? And what's the goals you're trying to accomplish with the event? If you're a business, are you trying to get your name out there, or are you just trying to strengthen your connections with previous customers? All this kind of stuff. So I think that really is pretty versatile. Yeah.
Do you work with businesses if they're trying to do staff events?
Yes, yeah. We'll do corporate events. We'll do staff events. We can do corporate Christmas parties. We could do if you're going to any kind of meeting out of state, we can arrive we can get transportation. We can get anything like that for you to get to your event, back and forth, transportation, all that kind of stuff.
And how much time do people need? Or how much time do you need? So if somebody said, "Oh, I really want to put something on, I'm not sure." How much time do you need? Can you do it within a few days, a week? Do you need a month?
It's definitely dependent on the event, but most events, obviously it's nice to have a 6-month window. I would say is obviously preferred, just so you have all that time to work out any problems that might come up or anything like that. And then obviously we can also a themed kids party, we can throw together in a couple days, no problem. So I think it really depends on the event, but we can usually make it fit within your timeline no matter what. So.
And do you coordinate everybody, caterers and bar personnel?
Yep.
And you do?
Absolutely. For our casino nights, all of our dealers, we will hire on hand for you. We make sure we have trained and professional experienced dealers at your parties. We have staff. We have waiters and waitresses, service staff. So anything pretty much you can imagine, we provide.
Now, you mentioned casino night,
Yes, ma'am.
Explain a little bit about that for those who don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's basically stepping into a casino for a day. We can transform any space. We have the dealers, we have all the different kinds of poker games I haven't even heard of. And we'll set up all the tables. We have dealers. We'll have you can get slots machines. We'll have all the decor. You can have live entertainment or a DJ. You can have a bartender. Basically, we just transform your space into a evening in downtown Las Vegas for a night. So.
Now you said casino. You said themed events. What other themes have you got?
We have so many. We have over 50 themed events. So we have I
Wow.
know, right? We have under the sea. So we've got mermaids and aquatics and stuff for anything for zoos or aquariums would be perfect, or little kids love that one. We have pirate themes. We have a dueling piano theme where we hire two dueling piano artists, and they're basically comedians at the same time. And they'll go throughout the night and provide entertainment, play pianos, and throw jokes at each other and stuff like that. That one's a really fun one. So yeah,
fantastic.
We have tons.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of one another.
Absolutely. I'm very excited.
And welcome to the Jacksonville Party Company.
Thank you so much.
Sounds
I'm so excited
fantastic.
to be here.
Good.
Yes. Wonderful.
And if you'd like to know any more information about the Jacksonville Party Company, go to iwannabuzz.com.
Hey everybody, welcome to Buzzworthy Business. I'm your host Jesse Stakes, and today I have Jill Busey of Your Digital Rank.
Hello.
Jill, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So tell us about Your Digital Rank. What do you guys do?
At Your Digital Rank, I'm a Pinterest manager, so I help creators get their content discovered on Pinterest. I also help them attain conversions such as blog readers, website traffic, podcast downloads, digital and physical products purchased, email signups, brand awareness. I also offer sales funnel suggestions. I also do keywording, pin design, setup and optimization of their accounts, scheduling, analyzing and reporting of their analytics.
So you're essentially you're outsourcing all of their social media and brand awareness online, it sounds like.
I'm basically managing their business on Pinterest.
Very good. So are you seeing, compared to other social media platforms or other platforms, is Pinterest helping them drive more revenue to the bottom line? Are they helping them sell more of their products and services?
Yeah, Pinterest has over 400 million people that actively use their platform monthly. I think it's 89% of people that go on Pinterest are trying to find a problem, trying to find a solution to a problem.
Okay.
And I think 98% of people who look at something on Pinterest end up trying it afterwards.
So most of them are buyers. They're actively looking for something to purchase.
Mm-hmm. Something to purchase or to solve a problem.
Very good. So I know this is kind of a vague question, but success for you and your clients, what does that look like?
To get them more conversions, to get them website traffic, to get them purchases, to get customers to read their blog, to get customers listen to their podcasts or view their YouTube videos.
Is there something about the way that they're posting on Pinterest? Is there something that our viewers wouldn't know? Is there kind of a tip you could give them as far as what makes things more attractive on Pinterest versus others?
You want to have eye-catching pins. You want to make sure that everything is keyworded correctly. You also want to make sure you claim your account because then your profile would show up and kind of gives you authority. You can. There's a lot of different things you can do.
Sure.
There's many options that
Very
you
good.
can take advantage of.
So what types of customers are you looking for? Who's your target audience?
I like the dog, fashion, health, and fitness industries.
Okay.
Just because I have a dog and I like dressing up, and I was in the healthcare before.
Very good. It's always what we're passionate about is where we do our best, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'd like to switch gears a little bit and you tell us about yourself, Jill.
I was in the healthcare field for about 20 years on and off. I know medical terminology pretty well, so I had the opportunity to stay home, and I've always wanted my own business. When I was a little girl, I used to pick flowers from my parents' front yard, and I tried selling them on the side of the road. I wasn't very successful, but I figured I would take this opportunity. And become a Pinterest manager. And the way I found that is I was actually researching transcription because I know the medical terminology pretty well, and Pinterest management just kind of fell in my lap.
Wonderful. How do you like to be involved in our community? What do you do to give back?
I like to offer feedback. I like to, communicate with other business owners and see how I can help them. If they have something that they want to try out and get some kind of idea of like how they can fix it or enhance it and make it better, then that's what I like to do. I would also like to volunteer at a adoption place for dogs too.
Okay, very good. So like the Jacksonville Humane Society?
Yeah, something like that. Or if there's like a private nonprofit one. I've done that in the past in another area. So something like that.
So if our viewers want to learn more about you, Jill, how can they find you?
Go to www.yourdigitalrank.com.
Very good. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you again for having me.
Very good. If you guys would like to learn more about us here over at Buzz TV and Jill at Your Digital Rank, you can join us at iwannabuzz.com. I'm Jesse Stakes, and I will catch you guys next time.
From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
All right, welcome into The Horse's Mouth here on Buzz TV, of course, from Tommy Mac's place. This time around, we're talking business in Jacksonville, which I always love talking about. We'll welcome our friend to the show, Troy Farquhar.
Yes, sir.
From Integrity Law. How are you, my man?
I'm
thanks
doing
for being
well.
on the show.
Thanks for having me today.
Great to
Appreciate
have you.
Yeah.
You're from Lakeland, you said, but you've been here since 2005.
Yeah, I moved up to Jacksonville in 2005 to go to school, and
Okay.
I love the ocean here, and all the different trails and parks. So
Yeah.
it's a good place to settle.
How'd you know you're going to get into law? What steered you into law?
Well, accounting got kind of boring.
Okay,
Not smart
you were an
enough to-
accountant first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Medical school seemed a little bit too
Out
lofty.
there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah.
You went with the law route.
Went
Where'd
law.
you go to? Where'd you do your undergrad?
Florida Coastal.
Okay.
I'm sorry. No, that's a law school.
That's
I
a
went
law
to,
school? Yep.
Florida Southern College in Lakeland. Yeah. So.
Okay, and integrity law. You guys do a little bit of everything, huh? Probate, family law, personal injury.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We do mostly family law, but we do a fair amount of probate and estate planning, personal
Okay.
injury. So yeah.
Okay, what do you specialize in?
Mostly family law, but I'm also board certified in dependency law. Well, juvenile law with a sub focus in dependency.
Wow,
So-
juvenile law. What is it like? Juveniles? Is that
Juvenile, yeah. The umbrella is it encompasses dependency and delinquency. So dependency is when children have been removed from their parents due to abuse, abandonment, or neglect.
Wow.
So that's what I mostly focus on.
Okay.
And then delinquency also falls under the juvenile umbrella, and that's children who've been accused of committing a crime.
Okay. Wow. Wow. That's an emotional job, I bet.
Yeah, it's very fulfilling though. I like
Is it?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I work part-time with the Guardian Ad Litem program, which I think we'll talk a little bit about today.
Okay.
But that's a statewide program that trains lay people from the community
Okay.
to be volunteers, and they are assigned to a case in dependency court. So
Okay.
that means children have been removed from their parents. They might be in foster care with
Okay.
a family member or something like that. And then so the Guardian Ad Litem program gets appointed to that case.
Okay.
And the volunteer's job is to sort of be a second set of eyes to make sure that the children are getting everything that they need.
Okay.
To kind of monitor the parents to see if the parents are doing what they're supposed to be doing,
Okay.
and to advocate for what's in the best interest of the child. So there's some overlap between what DCF does and what Guardian Ad Litem
Okay,
does.
okay.
But Guardian Ad Litem is separate, and so they make recommendations to the court about what the outcome of a case should be.
Is Guardian Litem Jacksonville based or North Florida based, or where are they?
It's a
based?
statewide. It's a statewide
okay.
program.
So it's all throughout Florida.
Yeah, so
Great.
Other states have similar programs. They might call it CASA, which stands for Court Appointed Special Advocate.
Okay.
In Florida, we call them Guardian Ad Litem.
Okay.
And so, yeah, it's lay people from the community that undergo the training and have a heart to serve, and so they'll go
Okay.
and monitor the case, and they become sort of mentors and friends for the children.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so it's really.
But they got to get through the legalities. I didn't mean to cut you off, I would imagine, right? Because there's certain ways you must have to,
Yeah.
the protocol, the process must be.
Yeah, there's a
Right.
training program, and there's ongoing educational requirements each year for the volunteers.
Okay, great,
Yeah.
great.
So, you know, they say it takes about 10 to 12 hours a month of a person's time to be a guardian ad litem.
Okay.
And that's probably about accurate.
Okay.
I've been a volunteer guardian ad litem here in the 4th Judicial Circuit, which is Clay, Nassau, and Duval counties.
Okay.
Did that for a few years. And then I parlayed that into a job with the Guardian Ad Litem program.
Okay.
So I do that part-time, not in Jacksonville, in Gainesville. So
Okay.
I travel a bit.
Okay.
But I do that. Don't volunteer anymore because that kind of, you know, the part-time job sort of takes
Sure.
up a lot of time as well. But yeah, I mean, I do that because I find it to be really rewarding.
Yep.
And
Yep.
it's probably the highest, it's the best thing I could probably do with my law license is to,
Yeah,
is to do that
look,
kind of.
those children need it, right?
Yeah.
They always need somebody, you know, even a third party can be sometimes closer than someone that has known the child or lived with the child or whatever, right? So
Yeah.
having that third party
Yeah.
that's solid, stable, a good listener,
It's
you know,
good
helping
work.
them out.
The volunteers are empowered
That's
to
great.
go to the children's school and talk to their teachers.
Okay.
Empowered to talk to the children's medical providers, therapists, whatever. So yeah, they really should. They do become an integral part of the child's life, at least while that case is open.
So in your family law practice, is it a lot of any overlap at all? Like, or is that kind of your focus in that area, or not really?
It's kind of hard to explain. So the family law, you know, that's divorces, unfortunately,
Right.
adoptions, paternity cases when there's unwed parents, you know, they
Right.
want to establish rights. So that's primarily what we do in family law. But since you brought it up, we are starting to now become appointed as private guardian ad litem. So I know this gets a little bit confusing.
Okay.
All right. So we've got the statewide guardian ad litem program. Those volunteers get assigned to cases in dependency court. Children have been removed from their parents due to abuse, abandonment, or neglect. There's also another provision in Florida statutes that allows for a private guardian ad litem to be appointed in a family law case. So the way that would come up is, let's say mom and dad can't agree on what a time-sharing schedule should be for their child.
Okay.
So a guardian ad litem may be appointed in that case. Usually one of the parents will request the court to appoint a guardian ad litem.
Okay.
Also, the statute contemplates that in the event there's a family law case and there's allegations of abuse, abandonment, or neglect, maybe it doesn't rise to the level of dependency where the children should be removed from their parents.
Right.
But there's these allegations of abuse, abandonment, or neglect. The court can appoint a guardian ad litem in that case.
Okay.
So, and those again are different than the volunteers, which are lay people from the community
Right.
with the program.
Sure. Sure.
To be a private guardian ad litem, the statute says you could be an attorney, you could be a licensed mental health counselor. There's sort of a catch-all too,
Yep.
where you could be an authorized court personnel. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but
Yep.
anyway, there's private guardian ad litems, and so we're starting to do more of that in our practice as well.
Okay.
So in that situation, like I said, maybe one of the parents requests the court to appoint a guardian ad litem. Maybe there's an allegation of abuse, abandonment, or neglect,
Yep.
and so we'll be appointed for that. And in which case, at that point, the appointed guardian ad litem, they act as the next friend to the child and sort of a friend of the court.
Okay.
They're authorized and empowered by the court to conduct an investigation. So just to give you an example, let's say we've seen this come up before where maybe one parent will want a child to go to like a private school and then the other parent wants them to go to public school.
Okay.
And so there's this, conflict.
Right.
A guardian ad litem might be appointed to interview the
Mediate?
children.
They mediate that?
Not really mediate. So the guardian ad litem would make recommendations to the court after doing
Okay.
their
Their
investigation.
due diligence, and checking out the kid and what they want,
Yeah.
and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yep.
and so that is
Cool.
one of the things that the guardian ad litem has to consider is what are the desires of the child.
Sure.
But that's
Right.
not determinative of what the recommendation would be. So the guardian ad litem is supposed to make recommendations to the court based on what they think is
Okay.
in the child's best interest, not what they just come up with, not like, oh, I think this. So there's Florida, we're really getting into the weeds here, but
It's all right. That's what we do at the bar, Troy.
yeah, so
That's what we do.
So within our statutes, within Chapter 61, which is the dissolution of marriage statutes,
Okay.
there's a section that talks about time sharing, which is what we used to call custody. We don't call it custody.
Oh, you don't
we
call
call it time sharing. Yeah,
okay.
we don't own children. So
Gotcha.
So anyway, within that subsection of the statute, there's a bunch of different factors that the court would consider to determine what a time sharing schedule should be. So some of those factors are like which parent is most likely to follow the time sharing schedule and be reasonable if changes need to be made. Which parent puts their children's needs ahead of their own. Which parent is customarily providing the day-to-day child rearing responsibilities. So there's a whole list of them. They go A through T. So I don't know if that's like 20 or 20-something factors. So the guardian ad litem is doing this investigation, and then at the end, they're going to write a report, and they're going to analyze these different factors and say, this factor weighs in favor of mom, this one factors in favor of dad, blah, blah, blah. And then at the end, come out with a recommendation that is based on their evaluation of the different factors. Okay. And they make that recommendation. Of course, the court accepts it or doesn't accept it or whatnot. But
well, it sounds really fulfilling, and I know you're busy as heck, and it's got to be emotional from time to time. So what do you do to unwind? Like, what's your... Seriously, surf? I mean, you ride bikes. You said trails, so...
Yeah, so since COVID, been growing the COVID mane. Okay. But that's not really a hobby. Started gardening. Got a big vegetable garden going on. Okay. Done some remodeling in the house. I like to paddleboard and get out, play some tennis and stuff like that.
You got to get away from what you're doing. I mean, right? I mean, for a little while, I would imagine.
Yeah, it can get
heavy. A
heavy.
Break here and there.
It can get heavy.
Yeah, like anything else, but that just seems a little more heavier than most. But you're doing good work, and that's great.
Yeah, when you're dealing with the needs of children, and you know, it's a lot of responsibility. You know,
no doubt. All right, Troy, why don't you look in camera 3 and let people know where they can find you and Integrity Law and your great services.
All right. Well, look us up on the web. We're www.integritylawjax, that's JAX.com, or call us at the office, 904-224-2100.
All right. Good work, my friend. Thanks for coming on the show.
Appreciate
really enjoyed it. That's cool. I've never had someone like you on the show. So I always love meeting new people and hearing what they're doing, and that's fascinating,
thanks.
Man.
Well,
Good
I'd love
for you.
to have somebody from the statewide program come in here.
That'd be great.
And talk about volunteer opportunities at some point.
Well, we'd love to have them.
Yeah,
Thank you, man.
All right, thanks.
Cheers. All right, that'll do it for us this time around on The Horse's Mouth. Always enjoy hearing